Well, good afternoon, everyone. Please take your seats and we'll get started. And thank you for being here. My name is Frank Billingsley. I'm the Chief Meteorologist at Channel 2, KPRC. And if you want to know where that hurricane's going to go, you can tune in at 4, 5, 6, and 10 this afternoon. I will have the answer then. On behalf of Luncheon Chairs Cecilia and James Dismukes, along with the Board of Directors, I welcome you to the Galveston Bay Foundation's Guardian of the Bay Award Luncheon. Today we're honoring business, government, and community leaders. And what a great afternoon. It seems like it's always beautiful when we have this luncheon, and today's no exception. So I want to recognize this year's honorees at today's luncheon and celebrate our past. Can you believe this is my 6 out of 7 years? And when I first started emceeing this, yes, that's my table right there that started the applause. They're the ones throwing the roses at the stage. Can you believe, I think we had about 160 people at that. And we were at the Hotel Zaza. And that was 2 or 3 years. And then we moved to River Oaks Country Club, and it went to 300 and 400. And today, the most important 600 people in my life are here this afternoon. So thank you for being here. This is a wonderful, wonderful turnout. It's important that we're here. We always, either by nature or by man, tend to mess up the bay. Either Hurricane Ike will come along and put all of Bolivar and everything that's on top of Bolivar into the bay, and I still don't know where all that stuff went. Somewhere in there. Or 2011, we'll have a big drought, and we'll have way too much salt water in the bay and not nearly enough fresh water. Or last spring, we'll have way too much fresh water and not nearly enough salt water. And that's just messing with all of the mollusks and the mussels and the shrimp that live in the bay that are so important to the world. That's the natural stuff. And then we as human beings come along and find ways to really mess it up. You're going to be hearing today about what we do to the bay, what nature does to the bay, and what we do to the bay to help the bay. It's so important to our livelihoods and our community, and has been for so long. So I want to introduce you to the man who's been our worthy president for all these many years, Bob Stokes, president of the Galveston Bay Foundation.
So thank you very much, Frank, and thank you for being such a great supporter of the Galveston Bay Foundation over the years. I mean, there's a lot of reasons we invite Frank to this luncheon, but clearly the weather that he accommodates for us each year is perhaps the best reason. Yeah, Frank's got a real genuine interest in what we do, so thank you very much. So it is my sincere pleasure to welcome you here today. As Frank referenced, we've been at the River Oaks Country Club the last 3 years. We had a really good problem. We outgrew it. So this is a wonderful venue as well, and really appreciate you joining us here today. For those of you who are familiar with the foundation, you may know that we were organized to represent all the different Bay user groups, the folks who use Galveston Bay. That includes the recreational users, the folks who've got second homes on the bay, the boaters, the fishermen, the kayakers. We try to work with the commercial users as well, the folks who are out there on a daily basis making their living, the shrimpers, the oystermen, the people who've got local seafood restaurants like Tom Tollet with Tommy's Restaurant and Oyster Bar. And we also work with the industrial users, the folks who've got plants and facilities on the bay, the people who make a living on the bay. We try to bring all those folks together to work together for the best long-term interests of Galveston Bay. And I think if you look around the room today, you will recognize all those people working together. So I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the support for the Galveston Bay Foundation. We truly, truly appreciate it. We couldn't accomplish what we accomplished as an organization without the support of our community. So once again, thank you very much. I want to thank some particular sponsors and auction donors whose names you'll see displayed on the screens this afternoon. Speaking of the auction, it's still open. If you didn't get a chance to go back there before the luncheon, it's open until 12:30. We also have something new this year, something we're calling Fund a Need. We're trying to raise $5,000 specifically today for our water quality programs and our oyster shell recycling programs. And we have a generous match of $5,000. So every dollar you might give to our Fund a Need program today will be matched dollar for dollar. I think we've raised $1,000. We'd like to raise another $4 today if you're interested, so please stop by there. That'll be open until the end of the luncheon. So in terms of our sponsors, I want to thank our Guardian sponsors, Kirby Corporation and Catherine McGovern and the McGovern Foundation for their generous support. We also want to recognize our protector sponsors, NRG Energy, Satterfield and Ponticus, Cynthia and Don Stevenson and the Madeline Stevenson Foundation. A round of applause, why not? Thank you to all of you. And then I don't want to miss an opportunity to thank Shell Oil for their title sponsorship of Bike Around the Bay, which is upcoming in a couple weeks as well. It's our 2-day bike ride that's very similar to the MS-150, except it's local. It's around Galveston Bay, 170 miles for those of you who might be interested. And now I also want to reference a couple other neat things. We've got members from the 3 big yacht clubs, from the 3 big Galveston Bay yacht clubs here today. Houston Yacht Club, in the house somewhere, right? We've got Lakewood Yacht Club, Texas Corinthian Yacht Club, and those are true users of Galveston Bay, so we're really honored to have them involved in the work that we do. And then just grateful for all the new supporters here today and the people who've come to this luncheon year after year after year. Thank you very much. We've got a lot of project work going on. We mentioned the oyster shell recycling and the water quality work. I also wanted to point out one particular project that I hope you've seen in the news recently. We had the opportunity to work together with the Houston Advanced Research Center to produce the first report card on the health of Galveston Bay. And we issued that back in August, and it was covered prominently by both the Houston Chronicle, the Galveston County Daily News. We had front page articles in both those newspapers, as well as editorials by the editorial board and op-eds as well. The good or bad news, depending on how you look at it, is that we gave the Bay an overall grade of a C. For us, that means that the health of the Bay is adequate for now, but it's certainly at risk. There's much to do to ensure that the Bay remains healthy and resilient and even improves in the future. And all of you, I think, have been provided a copy of that report card at your seats today. We'd love for you to take a look at it, give us feedback, and in particular, go follow up and visit the website we've created for it, which is galvbaygrade.org. There's tons of layered information in there about all the different factors that came together to give the grade of a C for the Bay. So thank you once again for being here today. We really appreciate it. Before I sit down and encourage you to enjoy lunch, I want to call up our luncheon chairs, Cecilia and James Dismukes, and ask them to please join me so we can give them a round of applause and a little token of our appreciation. James and Cecilia have just been fabulous to work with. James is a new board member of the foundation. They have a beautiful home on Clear Lake, a boat that they take out on Galveston Bay all the time. They've got a really great interest in the Bay, and we just thank them so much for being here today. So that's it for now. I would encourage you to start with your lunch, and we will start our program in a few minutes after people get to eat. Once again, thank you all for being here today, and enjoy lunch.